In the last episode, we told you about the story of Tara Calico, a 19-year-old college student from Belen, New Mexico, who set out on her usual morning bike ride and never came back home. She was last seen riding her mom's bright pink Huffy down Highway 47, headphones in, music on, and completely unaware that someone may have been following her. Later, fragments of her Walkman and a cassette tape were found scattered near the side of the road. The signs pointed to a struggle, but no body, no bike, and no clear answers ever emerged. Witnesses described a white or gray Ford pickup truck trailing too close behind Tara while she was riding, but no suspect was ever named. In this episode, we go deeper into the investigation, the missed chances, the long silence, and the photo, the one that surfaced nearly a year later in a Florida parking lot. A photo that stunned the country and gave Tara's family something they hadn't had in months: hope. And then, more questions. My name is Sarah Reed, and this is Sequestered Season 2, Case 3, The Disappearance of Tara Calico, Part 2. It was June 15th, 1989, nearly 9 months since Tara Calico disappeared. A woman steps out of a convenience store in Port St. Joe, Florida. It's an ordinary afternoon. The sun is out. She has errands to run. She's walking across the parking lot and sees something lying face up on the asphalt. It's a Polaroid photo, just sitting there, staring back at her. She picks it up, and when she sees the image, she freezes. It shows a teenage girl and a young boy, both with duct tape stretched tightly across their mouths. Their wrists are bound. They're laying side by side on what looks like a bed in the back of a van or a camper. There are pillows, blankets, and a paperback book visible in the frame. We've posted a link to this Polaroid in the show notes, or you can see it on our website at sequesteredpod.com. I've looked at it so many times, it's chilling. I mean, just imagine, you're just walking out of a convenience store on a normal Thursday afternoon, keys in hand, you got a soda in your other hand. You're heading to your car, thinking about dinner, or traffic, or picking up your kid. And there it is, a photo on the ground. Not a receipt, not a shopping list, a Polaroid of 2 children, bound, gagged, and clearly laying in the back of a vehicle. And listen, this is the late 80s. There's no iPhone to snap a pic, no way to Google who these kids are, or maybe start getting the word out. Regardless, the woman knew what she found was not right, so she did what most of us hope we'd do. Maybe after taking a picture now, she turned it into the police. And the police immediately flagged something chilling. The girl in the photo looked just like Tara Calico. Authorities quickly contact Tara's family. According to the New York Times, Tara's mother, Patty Dole, was certain. The hair, the face, the scar on her leg, even the book, My Sweet Audrina by V.C. Andrews, it was one of Tara's favorites. For Patty, there was no doubt this was her daughter. But not everyone agreed. Back in New Mexico, the Valencia County Sheriff's Office expressed doubt. Even the FBI launched an investigation. But their facial recognition testing came back inconclusive. Then came another twist. Some believe the boy in the photo might be Michael Henley, a 9-year-old boy who had vanished earlier that year, ironically also from New Mexico. The photo set off a wildfire. It aired on America's Most Wanted, it landed in newspapers, tabloids, and mailboxes across the country. It reignited hope and fear for everyone who loved Tara. Because if that girl was her, it means she hadn't died on that highway that Tuesday morning. It means she was still out there, somewhere. The photo in Port St. Joe didn't just make headlines, it launched a multi-agency investigation that stretched across state lines and deepened one of the strangest turns in the Tara Calico case. A store clerk told the police she'd seen a man pull into the convenience store parking lot driving a white Toyota cargo van, possibly with Florida plates. According to a 1990 report in the Albuquerque Journal, the man was described as being in his 30s with a mustache. He walked into the store to buy something, and by the time the clerk had noticed the photo on the pavement, the van had already pulled away. The FBI got involved quickly. Facial recognition experts analyzed the photo, comparing it against known images of Tara Calico and the missing 9-year-old Michael Henley. Tara's parents were convinced, but federal officials weren't so sure. Even Scotland Yard was brought in. Their analysts suggested that the girl in the image was likely Tara Calico, but FBI still refused to confirm the match. Here's a clip from KOB4 News.
Lieutenant Rowland says he can't speak for what happened back then, but he believes the truth is closer than ever. To suspects, he says, were part of this community all along.
We, as the investigator, believes we have an answer. We believe we know what occurred and who's responsible.
But with a case that's 35 years old, the time to charge a person for most related crimes has long passed.
The case went to the district attorney's office for review about 3 months ago. We're told right now a team is working to go through 3 decades worth of police files. In order to sign off on charges, they have to rule out the laundry list of suspects who were named over the years. There's no hard timeline on when or if charges will be filed.
And then another twist. In 1990, just months after the Polaroid surfaced, Michael Henley's remains were found in the Zuni Mountains, near where he had gone missing during a family camping trip. Authorities said he'd likely died of exposure. No sign of abduction, no van, and no connection to Tara. This only deepened the mystery. If the boy in the photo wasn't Michael Henley, then who was he? Despite the Polaroid being aired on America's Most Wanted, printed in papers, and shared coast to coast, the man in the van was never identified. And the van itself, if it ever existed, was never located. Investigators were left with a chilling photograph, 2 bound children, and nothing else. No names, no location, no way to know who took the picture or why. For years, the Polaroid remained the most tangible clue in Tara Calico's disappearance. There were no confirmed sightings, no new suspects, just a single photo, discovered over 1,000 miles away, and carrying 1,000 unanswered questions with it. The case drifted until 2008, when something strange happened. Valencia County Sheriff Rene Rivera made headlines when he told the Valencia County News Bulletin that his office knew who was responsible for Tara's death. He claimed 2 teenage boys, locals from Belen, had followed Tara that morning in a truck, confronted her, and that things, quote, got out of hand. He said they panicked and then covered it up, disposing of her body and hiding the truth with help from others. But according to the Valencia County News Bulletin from June 2028, Rivera didn't name names. He didn't make any arrests, He said without a body, he couldn't press charges, telling reporters, quote, "All we need is a lead or a piece of evidence to move forward." To the Calico family, it felt like a cruel echo. More promises, no justice. They'd waited 2 decades by this point, and still, no one has been held accountable. But the case wasn't closed. In 2021, over 30 years after Tara vanished, investigators served a sealed search warrant at a private residence in Valencia County. Lieutenant Joseph Rowland of the Sheriff's Office confirmed to KOAT-TV that the warrant was directly, quote, relevant to Tara's case, though the details were kept under seal. Even months later, authorities said the material they gathered was still being reviewed by prosecutors. It was the most concrete investigative action Tara's case had seen in years. A flicker of movement, a hint that something or someone was still under scrutiny. In the decades since Tara Calico disappeared, the theories have multiplied, but few have ever stuck. Some believe she was abducted by strangers, possibly trafficked, as the Polaroid seems to suggest. Others point closer to home, to people in Belen, young men with local connections, shielded by small-town silence. In 2008, Sheriff Rene Rivera hinted that several individuals in the community knew more than they were saying, that Tara may have been confronted by acquaintances, that something went wrong, and she was killed. Her body, he said, was hidden in the vast, unforgiving desert outside Valencia County. Then there's the local cover-up theory. In that same 2008 article from KOAT Albuquerque, former Sheriff Rene Rivera stated that the 2 teenage boys local to Valencia County were following Tara that morning and may have accidentally struck her. According to Rivera, the teenagers panicked, killed her, and disposed of her body with help from their families. Rivera claimed he knew who they were, but lacked the physical evidence to bring charges. That statement, controversial at the time, fueled long-held rumors of a small-town cover-up involving the son of then-Sheriff Lawrence Romero. There was also the David Parker Ray theory. A KOB News article mentions that Ray, also known as the Toy Box Killer, was active in New Mexico in the 1990s. In fact, he owned a ranch not far from where Tara vanished and bore a striking resemblance to the composite sketch. But the FBI eventually ruled him out, citing a lack of evidence and no match to any of the written ledgers of his victims. How creepy is that? Then there are darker theories. According to coverage by the Charlie Project and KOB News, there were other whispers of a cover-up, mishandling of key evidence. Early reports referenced a pink bike, a pair of underwear with the initials TC, and a suitcase with telephone wire found near the Rio Communities Motel. Some of these items were never collected or tested. Others may have been lost or destroyed. And investigators disagree on whether they ever existed. One officer even admitted that the suitcase, possibly linked to a drug ring, was intentionally destroyed. Even more unsettling, Tara had reportedly received anonymous notes in the weeks before her disappearance, left on her car windshield, though they were never traced. Despite all of it, no one has ever been arrested. No charges have ever been filed, and Tara's remains have never been found. But her family also never gave up. Tara's mother, Patty Dole, became a fierce and unwavering advocate for her daughter. She appeared on Oprah, Unsolved Mysteries, and America's Most Wanted, determined to keep Tara's story alive. And in an act of heartbreaking bravery, Patty carried a copy of the Polaroid photo in her purse everywhere she went. She has been quoted saying, Until we find Tara, that photo is my proof that she might still be alive. Sadly, Patty passed away in 2006, still waiting for answers, still believing, still hoping. In a 2023 KOB4 Investigates article, Brittany Costello reports that investigators shared there was just a 20-minute window between the last time Tara was seen and when her mother began searching for her. 20 minutes. That's how close she was. Tara's case has long drifted in that space between silence and speculation. But in September of 2021, something stirred again. The Valencia County Sheriff's Office, alongside New Mexico State Police, confirmed that a sealed search warrant had been served at a private residence. Officials said it had uncovered a new lead, one that was still under active review by prosecutors.
In particular, we have recently executed a search warrant relevant to this case here within Valencia County in April of this year.
Investigators say the warrant is sealed, but say it was served at a home in Valencia County. The FBI is also involved.
We believe Tara Calico deserves justice, deserves a resolution in this case, and so does her family.
After 3 decades of investigative work, law enforcement has not given up.
Then, nearly 2 years later, on June 13, 2023, Sheriff Denise Vigil stepped up to a podium and announced what she called a significant breakthrough. She said there was now enough evidence to forward the case to the district attorney's office for possible charges. Here's Faith Egbuanu reporting for KOAT News on the then 35-year-old case.
Tara's family has suffered long enough.
A major update in the Tara Calico cold case.
With very little resources, law enforcement has never given up, but here we are today as I stand before you and confident of the findings in this case.
Investigators believe new evidence found is one step closer to an unsolved mystery.
There is sufficient evidence to submit this investigation to the district attorney's office for review.
19-year-old Tara Calico vanished in 1988.
Tara left to ride her regular bike route and told her family she would be home by lunch.
But Calico never returned, her mother alerting officials.
Neither Tara nor her bike were ever located.
35 years later, the names of any persons of interest now sealed by the court.
The people responsible will soon have to answer to this family and to the community who has never stopped thinking of Tara.
To protect integrity of the investigation, police say information is limited, but they will reveal in due time.
We know there have been numerous theories about what happened to Tara, but rest assured, investigators have followed up on all theories, leads, and tips.
As of the release of this episode, the names and details of the persons of interest are still sealed by court order. But for the first time in over 3 decades, this case is moving forward. Investigators believe they are closer to truth than ever before. But the sealed search warrant means that even Tara's family still waits, still wonders. Here's what we know. Tara Calico went missing from Belen, New Mexico on the morning of September 20th, 1988. She was 19 years old. Tara was last seen wearing a white t-shirt from the First National Bank of Belen, white shorts with green stripes, ankle socks, and white and turquoise Avia tennis shoes. She was also wearing a gold butterfly ring with a diamond insert, a gold amethyst ring, and small gold hoop earrings. She was riding her mother's neon pink Huffy mountain bike with yellow control cables and sidewalls. She was last seen around 11:45 a.m. on Highway 47, just 2 miles from her home, reportedly being followed by a light-colored Ford pickup truck. Tara is a Caucasian female with green eyes and brown hair. standing 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighing between 115 and 120 pounds at the time of her disappearance. If she's alive today, Tara would be 56 years old. Her case remains open, and the FBI is still offering a $20,000 reward for information leading to her recovery, or to the conviction of the person or persons responsible. Tara Calico is more than a missing person. She is a daughter, a student, a friend. On a bright September morning in 1988, she pedaled away and never came home. Today, after 35 years, there's cautious hope that the truth may finally surface. If you have any information about the disappearance of Tara Calico, please contact the Valencia County Sheriff's Office at 505-866-2400 or the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Or you can go online to tips.fbi.gov. Because Tara Calico never made it home, but the truth still can. Subscribe to Sequestered on Apple Podcasts for early access to new episodes, completely ad-free. And don't forget to visit our website, sequesteredpod.com, for photos, updates, and coverage of every case on the podcast.